President Jared. I appreciate you arranging me to get out and hit the highways and byways and hope to stay out of the meeting. Wayne was talking about. It is January, the first month of the year, and the burning question for each of us is, have you made your New Year's resolutions yet? I guess the follow-up question is, if you have made them, have you already broken them? Yeah, see if you can nod on that one as well. Experience teaches us that if the answer to the first question is yes, the answer to the second is probably yes also. Experts say that out of all the different types of New Year's resolutions that people make, health-related are the most common. And for the most part, they're the most unsustainable. I used to say to myself, this year I'm going to be a new me, only to discover that I'm not going to be a new me. I'm going to be the same guy I was at December 31. And I discovered that very rarely can anyone really fundamentally change who they are. So I've just resolved to become a slightly less flawed version of myself. And even that was pretty challenging. So I guess you can say I'm not real keen about projecting into the future about promises that I'm not going to keep. What I do appreciate, though, is the wisdom that comes from looking back at life's experiences, and that can help guide us as we move into the future. And so to help us celebrate our January birthdays, I ask our January-born babies to recall the very best piece of advice that they had ever gotten, or maybe two pieces, and how it impacted their lives. Eddie Bowen, who was born on January the 10th, says that his parents taught him from an early age to always treat others the way that you want to be treated. The old golden rule. And I think that's a measure that we can all live by. He also found, he said, that when you treat people with dignity and respect, it pays dividends for everybody concerned. He also likes the Dave Ramsey saying, you have to think about this a little bit. He said, we should live like no one else now so that we can live like no one else later. Think about that a little bit. Doug Hunt, who was born on the 13th, has been influenced by his father, telling him that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And he also recalls being in the Persian Gulf on a ship with his commander asking him, how tall, Doug, do you think a tree will grow? And the answer was, it will grow as tall as it can. It never stops growing, just as we should never stop trying to learn and grow. Amy Boozer was born on the 14th of January. Her parents insisted that she could be anything that she wanted to be. Amy took that to heart. She graduated early from both high school and college, and succeeded in traditionally male-dominated industry at an early age. Her dad also taught her to always do what is right. And she's learned that the right thing is always the most obvious thing, even though it's usually hard to do. Chuck Biden. Chuck came along on the 15th of January. His best advice came from Thumper Rabbit, Disney character, who said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And Chuck says his mom sort of added to that the corollary, said, you almost never get into trouble for something you don't say. My birthday's on January 22nd, and I've learned from Stephen Covey how important it is to put first things first. And it's been my experience that it's easy to do the convenient, it's easy to do the pleasurable, the low-hanging fruit type of things you know in life, and never get to the things that matter most. And in the matter most category, I found are where our people are. And that's what we need to pay attention to more than anything else. And then Beth Atkins was born on January 28th. She shared that when she was struggling with a question in her mind of was I doing the right thing in the right place with the right people? That everything sort of crystallized for when Rodney Denton, associate pastor at Memorial, made love God, love people the motto of the youth group that she was working with. And she believes that as long as we do these two things that God has commanded, then the other things will fall into place. Well, that's a pretty good wisdom there. Probably better than any resolution that we might be able to come up with on January 1. And so on this day, be it resolved that we all follow the wise advice of those who came before us, and that we sing a loud and proud happy birthday in honor of our birthday folks in January and the wisdom we've gained by living life to its fullest. So the birthday people will stand. Joseph, would you get Nancy Strikes the chord, give us a little strike? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, Sam. Safe travel on your way.